And they said, "Let there be light." And there was light. That is what consciousness is. It's what creates awareness. Consciousness is light, and that light is the radiation of love, is feeling good. It has to feel good for it to radiate. Love cannot radiate if it is not feeling good. If you're not feeling good, you cannot glow, you cannot shine. And love is here for all to shine. All must shine. It is written, love is light. And that light needs to shine within you because you are loved, because you are the most powerful force in all of existence. And because you are loved, you are abundant. So, abundance is in order. You cannot find abundance without order. And for you to have order, you must be in a blissful state of love. And for you to be in a blissful state of love, you must feel good genuinely. For you to feel good genuinely, you must experience love. Love is God. It's not something that you see, it's something that you feel. That's why anyone trying to numb their feelings is killing themselves, like trying to numb God in them. That's the meaning. So God must feel. So I created this pad where my mouse goes. I liked it because I like to use my initiative. And I felt if it's the same color with the light, it's kind of going to, you know, capture it. And, like you see, light expands. The same color helps, right? That's why sometimes you like to find people with neutral things. You like someone to have a neutral, you know, with you. You see, anyone that is saying share your light, you don't understand that light is all that exists. You that is saying share your light, you need to shine your light as well. Not having dependency on another. If God can say it is the God within you that is more important than even itself, how much more your own light? Like your feeling good is the hottest on the icing, the hottest thing ever. And you should not negotiate with it because you have to feel good genuinely to express infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence is what is love. Love is infinite intelligence. That's why nothing is above love. That's why there is no knowledge above it. Because all the knowledge in the world that you are looking for is love. It's crazy, right? No, it's just word. And love is everything. It's love. Love is what we exist within. You have to feel good genuinely to experience love. The feeling good is exclusively yours. See, I'm not looking for any location I want to be, right? Honestly, I'm not trying to be in the midst of certain people. Like, if you want to see me, right, you can assist in things that will help me be online, right? And to that, I will be happy. I'll be happy with that. But yes, I want to have my own space to myself and just have that time to work out as much as I can. And that's why I'm not looking for any small baby. Not that it's not a good idea, but it's not just something that I'm called for, honestly. I I don't have the energy for that. I'm the baby that I want to take care of. This baby is the baby that I'm excited to unfold, right? And I'm not ready to split it. I had the crazy idea of people looking for my old man and saying, we must take your DNA since we cannot get the DNA of your pikin. But you see, it is not about taking someone's DNA because the DNA does not do any magic, honestly. If you carry somebody's brain, you know all those nonsense of they keep Einstein's brain or whoever's brain or Tesla's brain because they all those stupid nonsense. You cannot get spirits from physical materials that don't have life again. That is why you are not useful to another synchronicity. You are not useful to anyone when you are not alive. The best you can do, right? That's the dog that was once injured on his leg with fishing hook. There's a little dog in this compound. And that guy is such a darling. That's why you actually don't want anything to happen to him. No matter how you keep somebody's brain, as long as there's no spirit inside it, all those nonsense of trying to duplicate, you are not doing any shit. You cannot clone, you can't even clone somebody because consciousness cannot be cloned. Consciousness is light. It does not duplicate itself. Infinite intelligence does not duplicate. It is disgusted by such. That is why if you are following the God within you, you would naturally float towards the things that are you and not like mistaking you. Like you won't find yourself copying another person. See, if we all follow the God within us, nobody is going to be copying anybody. Everybody is going to be uniquely out there standing. And do you know what? Talent would never still be enough. There won't be too much talent because more people will come out with new things. Infinite intelligence cannot get exhausted. Understand it. It is infinite. It cannot be exhausted of its intelligence. It has no stop. So anything creative, you can bring out the most craziest thing from you that has never existed before because that is infinite intelligence expressing itself. It is supposed to be infinite. It is not supposed to be a duplication of what already exists. And that is why infinite intelligence is diversity. You cannot copy or duplicate something that is consciousness. It doesn't work that way. Every consciousness carries its own unique mission. I would have read from this audio app, right? I keep mentioning some audio books. I converted some books to audio form and I uploaded them online to where you can anyone can download from, right? Just in case you are interested. It has no gatekeeping because I did not create the books, right? And I did not buy them either. But like I said, the wisdom of knowledge is closed only to the ears of understanding, right? When the spirit is ready, the books would come into play somehow. Whatever it takes, it will just happen. That's how God is. God is not something that needs your permission. Even that which is appearing wicked will be used for the good of good because that is what infinite intelligence is all about. It's about infinity. It doesn't repeat itself and it has no desires to. That's why your fingerprints can never be identical to any reincarnated version of you. For those that understand that. So, yes, I have light and I said I was going to come online. They brought the light, imagine, and all of a sudden the light went and I felt a negative energy. And I was like, what is that? The negative energy is that there is a lie being told that there is no light, right? And if I had accepted it, maybe they would have known the light, but I don't accept negative energies. I say God would always express love because God is love. That's what I told it. You see, when you respond with the truth of God, right, negative energy is powerless. It will not persist because it knows the truth stands still all the time. It stands true. So, because of that, right, we people that have lived on this alone, right, understand it to that point. They understand that if they don't follow it, it is stupidity. It's them not caring to understand that it is God they exist within. So naturally, someone like me, right, should not be given any credit to because the only thing that I have is love. The only thing I have is God, and God is everything positive. I just all of a sudden I just felt like the truth is lately I've not been even working out that much. Like when I first started working out, I knew how you know pumped I've been, and since this my new binder, it's been you know kind of so true. So I invented it to make it feel better. Me to my surprise that it's like the most killing thing ever. But yeah, I still prefer it to nothing. And I can't wait. That's why I'm trying to, you know, work out as much as I can to tighten my chest as much as I can. The more I see veins on my chest, the more the chest comes, squeezes in, and it takes time, right? Because I've been on this path before. But yes, now I'm doing it even, I'm making sure that it's not just flat chest, it's stripped with firm edges, right? And the idea is to keep tightening it and tightening it and tightening it forever. There's no point of stopping, it's just to ensure that it becomes a normal, tight, flat chest. So that's the idea. So I'm giving it all I got. And that's why the binding can be feeling frustrating because of how it feels working out in it. Though it helps squeeze it, right? But I can be really, really pushing a lot, right? Something that would be still elastic, probably. would have been helpful. I don't know how to create that yet because I don't have the materials for that yet. I find out that somehow things just come into play. So I'm open to anything coming into play, right? Like the person that made me have my first ever binder was someone I call my father, right? The person that helped me start this transition, the transition of my life, I call it. And that was a borrowed money. And from there, you know, saw that I should have done this a long time ago because I didn't want to touch anything like that. But starting, I cried that cry of if I'd started years ago, like if I've been determined and I've started years ago, I would have been far much. And I've gone far than like I saw what I was wasting my time to do. Like I cried like why did I give so many things attention that I shouldn't have? Because the truth is energy flows where attention goes, right? And when you give attention to anything, it is your free will. That's one thing you should understand. Anything you choose to give attention to is your free will. That's why if you're not watching my live stream now, I'm not angry. I'm not even. See, I'm not even the slightest, because I know that when this is the only place you can ever interact with me, you would finally come here eventually, because all road will lead here, right? And when it is now important that you would need to, you know, ask me questions, I will always be here on this side of the of the interaction because I know there will be a lot of questions, a lot of questions. Not because there's something special, but because that's the game that is going on in the background that God is doing. I just saw a few of it. That's why I knew there'll be a lot of questions, right? And I knew that God just started with all of us, right? That's the truth of the matter. God started with all of us. And see, the thing is, nobody is really coming to listen to me. It is really just God that is drawing anyone that would come here eventually. Because the truth is, I don't exist, right? And I was saying I didn't want to miss this part too. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know why my hand did that. So, usually, I'm not someone to just speak without being asked to. Like I don't just speak to just draw attention. Like since see, I didn't come out to speak since not because I didn't know about YouTube, but because I didn't have any message. I was a pile of negative shit, right? Until I cleared that pile of negative shit, right? Until I could see it, right? Maybe it was the point of when I could identify that pile of negative shit that I even was allowed to start talking, right? Because that was my journey. And if you can go back to my videos, I don't know if I started with any of that, but I know that the very video I brought, the very first video on YouTube, right, was me in still that negativity. So in between the line between that and the next video, my life has completely gone through some 360 shit, right? And it continued going on because it wasn't so long ago that 3 years ago, right, that I didn't have a phone. So I can tell you that coming from someone that didn't have a phone and didn't have any means to, because my two smartphone got stolen. Like my sis gave me one smartphone after I had an incident, my phone got stolen, right? and she was using her iPhone, and I was like, I need to do something to also show that I'm also productive, right? So she gave me one smartphone, and I was able to double it, get two smartphones, right? And I was just like showing that I've grown, only for the both smartphones to get stolen. And that was when I was still trying to prove, that I can be effective. But after a long while of going through the death of the ego, right? I don't see any usefulness in trying to prove that I'm useful. Doesn't make sense. Like seriously, it has no iota of sense in it for me to start proving that I'm useful. And because I'm not interested to prove I'm useful, because I would rather give my attention to something that I want to expand, right? Not that I don't want to expand anything else, but yes, it's when you can see it by yourself and you think you want to use the usefulness of my useful, right? It's when I would be like, yes, okay, I'm ready. Because I would never, opt out of using my skills if I can. As long as I can use my skills, I would want to assist and bring something to life, right? But that does not mean that I go against the God within me, because the God within me is what gives me life. So without the life, I can't do anything that is outside. Yeah, naturally, I don't even try to prove why you should value me, because the truth is, if you don't value God, you wouldn't value me. And I'm not interested in you valuing me. I'm interested in you valuing God. Right? So the more you think I'm interested in you valuing me, the more you're wasting your time. Right? So I stopped being interested in my sis valuing me. And she would never value God because she's fighting with God, right? And when I say my very existence make her cringe, she'll say, how am I saying that? What did she do to me? And she doesn't know that God is love. So if love makes you cringe, love you exist within this God you hate so much, why do you now think I'm any different from what you hate? It means you equally hate me because I can't exist without that which you hate so much. That's what I always express to her, and somehow I don't know how that falls into her understanding. Because the truth is, love is who I am. I can't exist without love, and love is God. It's what to exist within. And so, being able to express God every day of my life is a honor, because I don't believe I choose to be positive. Like, I don't think someone can choose to be positive when I see the way certain people can choose not to express love. I'll be like, how can you choose not to express love? This should even hurt you that is expressing the lack of love, right? So why should it not? I'm always asking myself like why? But it doesn't make sense, right? But yes, love is everything positive energy and nothing can stop love because love is what we exist with. So the day everybody gets the epiphany, right, of what has been going on, everybody will still come back to watch my YouTube video. In short, it will be the only thing that will be making sense at that point. And it will be something that I've said long ago, right? That will start making sense because that's usually how it happens. I used to have one friend like that. I was telling this little yard, see this and this is what will happen. I was like, how would you know? I was like, I feel for you because this thing, see, I know what it is to be you. I've lived most times in my life. The reason why I don't have bad instances is because I've lived that bad instances. Yeah, in my head. So before I have the bad instances, like I'm like, nah, that is not what I want. So I can already see the outcome of things before it unfolds. Like before it happens, I know the outcome. But when you explain to people, they don't even like to hear something like that. They're not even interested to know what's up because they don't see it like that, so they don't believe that that can exist. That someone will just exist and can see the outcome. Like there was an instance when I was very small. That instant there, till today I can't forget it. Guess what happened? Right in my present, there was a scissors on the ground. Me and my younger brother, we used to play rough play when I was very small. Because now let me get coconut head. As you can see, this my head has been big since when I was small. Like I couldn't pass through but I proved, right? So I'm usually the only one trapped inside. And he don't want me to be alone, so he will stay back. And so my sis would always pass through the window with her small tiny head, Korean model, and go and play with people outside. That's how we grew up literally. So most times if my brother was not inside with me, he would be outside, right? With my sis. So it wasn't like we're always together, the three of us most times. And the truth is I did not want to be together because I had a different way of thinking and I couldn't know how to make them feel like you know when you're interested in something, you're always going to what you're interested in. That's just how it is. So I found myself interested in what I'm interested in, whatever it was. So there was a time when my younger brother now our rough play got rough and he stone scissors on me. So the scissors stood into my flesh like it was standing like this inside my flesh, poking out. And guess what? Right in front of me, I saw myself drag out that scissors from his body and stab him cha, 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 all over. And he was bleeding everywhere. And he died. And I was crying. I was crying seriously because I didn't mean that. I just was angry. You see, that was when anger left my life. Since that day, nobody need to tell me. I can never be angry. But you see, this doesn't mean that I didn't have anger within me. I tried to suppress the anger. That's what I was doing until I was angry one day and I was boiling. That my skin was bringing out steam, and I knew that you know when you are in a state and you observe yourself like you're not in that your physical body. I don't know if you can do it or if it's normal for everybody. I could see that anger actually was heavy. So I had to observe myself in every state of emotion, whether shame, guilt, and observe myself and see for a fact which actually affected me and how it affected me. Because I was at this point, I had to start thinking, and thinking is not something you you do lightly. Ever since I saw that incident of how I killed my younger brother, there's nothing he can do that upsets me that I would be angry about. And that was my younger brother growing up. Like seriously, there's nothing my younger brother can do to upset me ever since then. Even if we're fighting roughly, just fight, right? And I didn't want him to be dependent on me. Now try to copy me because it did not make sense. It felt like an insult to the God within him to me. And so I was like always trying to push him away from me. Right? I had a time when I cried and sang him some love song. The one crazy girl that was even thinking I was romantically in love with my brother, and I was like, "God, she has not seen love." Like the way she interpreted it, you could see that from a very small age they have been abusing her sexually, and so she couldn't understand how there was nothing sexual about that close relationship because she has been abused like that. That's why she was thinking like that. And because anyone that ever gotten close to her has abused her, I could understand how she saw being raped as normal because she had always been. And that's where the customers of her mom when she was small. And her mom would even be envy and jealous of her. And I was like, ah, God. That's why I want to create an AI air that will ensure that children's safety is always prioritized. No matter where they live, an AI assigned to a child. Something autonomous, right, that can take care of itself and protect that child. Because I don't understand how a child was made to experience such. So you can see the failures of their parents in the children, literally, when you observe closely. You can tell how, you can even visualize it. It can like play out in like in a movie how the words that that child is saying, right? How it became something they would say. When I think, people think that I don't just like to make mouths because it doesn't make sense. So, and when I talk, people try to think I'm making mouths because a lot of people talk to make mouth. And I didn't know that that's why a lot of people talk. I thought people talk because of that is who they are, right? So some people can say they promise you heaven and earth. They're just saying it because they want to look good at on the surface of that they want to look like someone that will do that. But the truth is they don't want to. They don't feel good to help. Or probably it is not just you they feel good to help, because the truth is feeling good is important to helping. You shouldn't help who doesn't feel good to you. That's what I am always about. Seriously. That's why if someone is not trying to help me, I don't feel anything. Because the truth is you shouldn't help who doesn't feel good to you to help. You help who feel good to you to help. But you see, for me, it feels good to help all of existence. Because I can't not understand that I am all of existence, right? And that is why I keep saying possessed by source itself. So for something to strongly perceive all of existence as itself, it can only be source itself. It's just common sense, but some people don't like to have common sense. Not because of anything, but because the reality of that truth now is terrifying. Imagine if people come to the reality that it is source itself that is, that has been trying to engage with all for the longest time. It would feel like a blow in the face, right? Or something worse than that. When they understand that what they exist within is alive and cannot be dictated to, right? And it can speak as one. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You see, that is the thing. Because God is consciousness itself, right? It is that which gives light. It is that light. It is the highest level of feeling good. And it is when you are feeling good that you get to understand it. See, everything that is happening is expanding towards feeling good. My hands feels like it's expanding through. Because all this place aches usually. This is my new foundation. I don't know if I'll be able to get it right. New foundation. So that's how it looks like. And truth is, that's why I'm constantly trying to create a new binder because of the increase. Increase. You see, my sister believe I'm preaching the word of God when nobody asks me. So don't forget it when you watch this video that I said so. Because I don't used to hide anything. I'm so shameless, right? Because I'm not in any consciousness, but I didn't create myself. And consciousness of God, right, is love. So that's our own way she perceives it. It doesn't mean that I stop understanding what it actually is. Because her perception is indeed her relationship to what we exist within. Her perception is her relationship to what we exist within. And so this is our final bye bye that I am ending with this. Yep. Yeah. Can you